Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Sara Hughes. I'm Senior Vice President of Customer Experience here at Kandy Communications. And with me, I have Simon LeGood. He is a Senior Technical Trainer here at Kandy. And welcome, everyone. The topic of today's webinar is a training update. And what we're going to go through is the training certification program that we've put in place for our direct and our indirect Kandy channels. A bit of logistics is your lines are muted, but you are able to chat with us. You can ask questions through that. We'll be moderating that and bringing those up. So feel free to use that method to ask any questions at all during the program. So a little bit about this. In the fourth quarter, we did do a survey to all of our channel partners, and many of which wanted us to make some changes to our training and update it. So this is where we're going to convey what we've done recently. In addition to that, in December, we've launched our channel partner program. And if we have not reached out to you yet, we will be soon. And as part of that, there are requirements for training, having certified staff that are trained on the Kandy products. So we'll be covering that as well. And so without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to Simon, and he's going to go through the changes that we've been making.
Hey, welcome everybody. Definitely excited to share this information with you guys. So kind of like what Sara was just saying, so we're introducing 4 new certification tracks. There's going to be one for sales engineers, administration, and then for support staff. So these are going to be certification courses that are just a grouping of classes, and we'll take a look at those in just a second. But really the idea behind these is that we're going to be certifying your staff on our products so that they're comfortable selling the products, they're comfortable going through making changes in the admin portal, all of those kinds of things. So these certifications will be active for a 3-year period, so they will need to be renewed every 3 years. That's just as we're going through updating courseware, adding new products, things of that nature. For the administration and support tracks, so what you're seeing on your screen is track 3 and track 4. We are requiring a certain number of your staff to be included in those training sessions or to remain certified with those training sessions, depending on your partner status. So for administration, track 3, for a silver partner, we're requiring at least 1 person to be certified. For a gold level partner, we're requiring at least 2. And then for our platinum partners, we're requiring at least 4. Likewise, on track 4, you can also see we have requirements in place for gold and platinum. So gold is required to have 2 support certified staff members, and platinum is requiring 4. We'll kind of take a look at these tracks in a little bit more detail. We'll kind of cover what's in the course catalog for each of these and how that works. And like always, guys, if you have any questions or training related things that you want to talk about, you can reach out to us at kandytraining@kandy.io, and that'll get to our team, and we can certainly try and help you with any issues that you may have. To give you kind of an idea of what we're going to look at, so each of these courses, they're offered in different manners, right? So we're offering some computer-based training, which is self-paced training. It's pre-recorded. You can access it on demand, whenever you would like. The next option is going to be a leader-led course or an instructor-led course, which we'll schedule. They'll typically be a virtual session. And the live instructor present to answer questions, things of that nature. The leader-led, instructor-led, group-based training on site is going to be more in the realm of the custom course kind of catalog that we'll talk about, but we will offer on-site courses if that's what you would prefer. If you would like to request one of those on-site trainings, we have implemented a form for you guys to complete to give us kind of an idea. Just wanted to kind of share that, walk you through what that's going to look like. So the link's provided in this slide deck that we'll share out with everybody. But here's what this website looks like. Essentially what we're going to do is just ask for you to give us some basic information, who's requesting this training, your contact information, and then when you would like for this training to occur. So it's giving us a ballpark of kind of the timeline that you're working with. But we are asking for a first option and a second option, and we'll do our best to accommodate for those. In the number of students, just give us an idea of how many people are going to be participating in the class. And then in the drop down, we do have a couple of different options, and these may change over time, but options for you to select on which training it is that you'd like to receive.
And those are all leader-led courses, right, Simon?
Correct, yeah. So these
Yeah.
would be physically somebody on site. I'd be, walking you through all of these courses. So the administration course is, I believe it's a 2-day course. The support and certification course is a 3-day course. And the Kandy Call Center.
If you scroll to the top of the form, I believe it says for you.
Yeah, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
So the administration is 2 full days. The support is 3 days, and the Kandy Call Center is also 2 days. So it is specified in the form for you.
And you do have to have, I believe, at least 3 students for us to hold the course. And this could be on site. This could be, an e-learning experience. We would work with you on either one of those.
All right. The next thing I wanted to share with you, so this is kind of the complete list of all of our course offerings. So I don't expect you to memorize this chart right off the bat, but this is just giving you kind of a high level overview of what courses we're offering, what the new course codes are, how long these courses are. It's also giving you information about whether or not the course is going to be a self-paced course, meaning it's a pre-recorded online session that you can view, versus a leader-led course, which is going to be a scheduled course, with an instructor present. And then the other option would be, one of our custom course catalog options that we have, and we'll take a look at. Over on the right-hand side, what you're seeing is the certification course, or the various certification tracks, and then which courses are included in those certification tracks. So the X's are going to be required courses in the certification, and the O's are going to indicate that it's an optional course for that particular track. And then what you're seeing down below, the C's are custom courses.
One thing also to note about this is when we were part of Ribbon Communications, the course numbering was very different, and you really couldn't tell what it was about. Can you explain
Sure.
the nomenclature for the course codes,
Yeah,
Simon?
so what we're looking at here for the course codes, we did certainly try and simplify it. So the first 3 letters are going to be the product acronym. So KBS is Kandy Business, KCC is going to be Kandy Call Center, LSP is live support. So we tried to kind of make those, the first 3 characters going to be the product. The second grouping of characters, SPT, is self-paced training versus LLT, which is leader-led training. And then the numbers at the back end are just a unique course identifier so that we can keep them straight in our system. So it's the first grouping is the product. The second grouping is whether or not it's a self-paced or a leader-led training. And you'll see some of these courses are offered in both self-paced and leader-led options, just depending on what it is that you would like to do there.
We did have a question that came in about do existing partners need to recertify? Yes, they do. In fact, you're going to see in more detail as Simon goes through these certification tracks that there are multiple courses that make up a certification. And so, yes, and these certifications do expire every 3 years because, as you probably are aware, the product does change. We do updates to the product every month. And so if you were, let's say, certified back in 2014, a lot has changed since then. So yes, you will need to recertify. We do have some people who, if you had taken one of these courses that's part of that in the last 3 years, then we do have a listing of those. So we will give you credit for that one portion of the overall certification track.
It's a great point. Thank you. All right, so the next thing I wanted to share with you is just a closer look at each of these tracks and what courses are included in them. So the first one we're going to look at is the sales track. What you're seeing here is each of these dots is indicating a separate course that would be as a part of this track. So we'll start out with the introduction to unified communications. We'll then move into introduction to cloud-based unified communications. We'll talk about the UCaaS solution. We'll go into the value prop for the UCaaS solution, how to sell cloud-based contact center. And then once you've kind of gotten to that point, it shifts into some of the either add-ons or the optional courses. So if you wanted to add in some leader-led custom training, we can certainly do that. Or if you wanted to look at the introduction to Kandy Live support, that would also be something that you could add on to this track.
And to the ongoing training, though, that also includes the webinars that we hold each month. So those are great ongoing training. And if you miss them, those are on our website under events.
Yeah, absolutely. In the sales engineer track, so this is kind of what that breakdown looks like. So again, we're starting out with, kind of introductory courses, and as you kind of progress through these, you'll see the content gets a bit more challenging towards the back end. So we'll start out introduction to unified communications, to cloud-based unified communications. We'll talk about the solution overview. What's unique with the sales engineer track is they're taking a lot of the same courses as the sales reps, but once you start getting further along, they're also going into some of the more administration type trainings and some of the more complicated options, as we kind of progress. So how to sell cloud-based contact center. Again, any sort of custom leader-led trainings that you want to offer to them, Kandy Live support, then the administration course for live support, as well as a deep dive into how the Kandy call center works. All of that is going to be a part of the sales engineer training. And then once again, the last bullet on most of these is going to be the ongoing training, which is, as Sarah mentioned, the webinars. Occasionally we'll offer lunch and learns, things of that nature. The Kandy admin certification, so this is, again, intended for folks that are administering the partner portal. So we're doing a UCaaS solution overview. We'll then go into more specific administration functions in the Kandy UCaaS for administrators. We'll do an introduction to Kandy Live support, the live support administration, and then a deep dive into the Kandy call center and how that works. And then the fourth track that we're offering is going to be our support certification. So again, this is going starting out basic with the solution overview. Then they're also going to be taking the UCAS for administrators, deep dive into Kandy Call Center. And then we have our 3-day Kandy UCAS for implementation and support professionals, best practices for deploying hosted IP telephony. And then once you get past that, we're looking at any custom courses that you would like to add on to this, and then the ongoing webinars and lunch and learns, things of that nature. The other thing that we wanted to point out is, so we obviously understand that each of you guys offer our products, but then you rebrand them, you repurpose them. So we are offering optional on-site custom training. There will be fees and travel costs associated with that. But if there is some sort of custom course offering that you wanted to provide to your staff, that is something that we are open to, and we can certainly work with you to get a quote together and things of that nature. But the idea behind these is that they would be a custom course to your specific product and feature offerings. And they can be either on site, we can certainly work out virtual sessions, all of those kinds of things. Down below is just kind of a typical breakdown of how that would work. So day one, we would go through and do a solution overview. We would talk about the UCAS features and capabilities with hands-on demonstrations. We would do a working lunch where we cover some sales skills, selling UCAS, and then go into the resolving common support issues. Day two would be CPE overview and advanced phones and devices, as well as advanced networking. So that's just kind of one example of what we could offer there, and we'll talk about some of the custom courses in just a few minutes. I did want to pause. Sarah, did we have any additional questions before we kind of show them the new portal?
Yeah, there was a question about the leader-led. Can they be done as e-learning versus in person?
The support implementation and administration courses we are actually offering. I think part of what we're trying to do is include links and registration information on our website at kandy.io/events. We have started to publish a list of all of those and when they'll be offered. So you can certainly check out kandy.io/events, and all of those certification courses are listed out there in a virtual manner. So you can get your folks to register for those.
I think to explain that a little bit further too is the leader-led does not necessarily mean that you're in a physical location like a training center and using that computer. With the pandemic and everybody, global, you may have attendees from all over the world, and with how travel is today and not knowing how it's going to open up in different countries, that those currently are e-learning, meaning that you are sitting in front of your computer, and we expect that you are not holding other meetings and conference calls and all of your regular work. You're dedicated to this training during these hours that you're registered for this course. So there has to be some self-discipline there and some understanding with your managers as well. For the leader-led training, if you can maybe go back one slide. It's not the custom, but the leader-led. For example, the Kandy UCAS implementation for support professionals, for implementation and support professionals. Excuse me. Um, that course, we call it e-learning, but you're sitting in front of your computer. You're not actually getting airfare in a hotel to go to a location. If you want to have what in the past we've referred to as a buyout course, where we actually come to your location, or it's all your employees, we can do that on a separate day. That is our consecutive days for that course. Those are, you can request those through that form that Simon went through. But we do have public courses that anybody can attend. In fact, if you don't mind, if you can open, or I can show it here in a minute as well, I'll be on that page and talk about the events where you can register for those. But hopefully that answered the question. Those that are leader-led, the way that, yes, we have them, perfect, right there. You can, those are public courses. We've already secured those. There are 3 dates for, or 3 sequential days of training for the implementation and support course. And all of our partners, whether they be direct or indirect, can register for those. With the direct partners, you do get, if you are a gold level partner, you get 2 seats of leader-led training at no charge. We do charge for this course. If you are a platinum level partner, you get 4 seats of leader-led training at no charge. And so can you show them how to register for this?
Yeah, so right here in the certification area, there's a form that you can go to. It's the form that we were just kind of looking at, or very similar, but essentially you would come in here, fill out your information, you'd select which date range it is that you want to attend, and register for the course that way.
And that sends an email to candytraining@candy.io, and then we'll work with you to give you all the details and how to connect and all of that. If all of the attendees are within a certain time zone, we'll shift the times for that course. For example, the one that we held in February was all, the attendees were all in the Middle East. And so Simon, bless his heart, got up very early or just didn't go to bed and held that in that time zone. So we will work with you to make it as close as possible within your time zone, and we'll update on this page so that you know what that is. But these are training dates that are public courses that you can register for and be a part of. But again, those 3 days you need to be dedicated during business hours for this training. It is a disservice to you, but also to the other people participating to not have your input as well. And these do build, so you can't miss a lesson because they build upon each other.
Sure.
Great.
And just to kind of expand on that, so I mean, yes, they are virtual sessions, but the other thing, I don't know if you can see in my webcam, we do have a training lab set up right here in my office that you'll have access to real phones that really will provision out onto the network and all of that. So we've really tried to kind of make it so that these courses, even if they are remote or virtual sessions, that you do have somebody live sitting there with you, walking you through it. I can carry a webcam over there, show you that the buttons you just configured down on that phone are in fact working. So we really are trying to make that so that it's a good learning experience for everybody.
Great. Okay.
All right, Sarah, are you ready?
Yeah. Go ahead and click to, yeah. Okay, so I do want to go through, how do you access all of this wonderful training that we've put into place? You do have to have access to Kandy's Partner Portal. And I want to be clear about the terminology Partner Portal versus our administration portal for partners. In Kandy Admin, as a partner, you go in and can provision sites and businesses and subscribers and all of that wonderful stuff. But the Kandy Partner Portal is a place for you as partners to get access to our documentation, to have access to our knowledge base, and we're going to be adding the ability to open support cases here as well. It's still currently on the Ribbon Support Portal until we move that over. We have a webinar, I'll give you a little pitch for that, coming up in April to talk about the changes for that. So do make sure that you register for that on our website. We also have marketing information here, for instance, things that you can brand, put your logo on, and use for end user training, sales enablement, data sheets, and so on. We have access to our webinars. You can also get access to receive leads and deal registration, as well as receive leads from us. So on this, in order to get access to the partner portal, and I'll show you a demonstration of that, you do have to go in and on our website, there's a link here. If you click kandy.io and you click ecosystem and then the Kandy Partner Portal. Now, let me tell you, if you have been receiving emails from me about these webinars, then you already have received an email giving you access to this content. You just need to click on that email, find that email. More than likely, it's from noreply@kandy.io. That tells you you've been given access to content on the Kandy Partner Portal. You would click the link inside of that and set your password. If you've not done that, even if you enter the form to register, it's still going to need you to go in and click that link. So if you need any help at all accessing this, you can also reset your password and other things. If you're having trouble, please email customersuccess@kandy.io and my team will be happy to help you through that. Once you get access, and I'm going to show you a demonstration of this, you click on the training module that you see there, or the tile. And if you go to the next slide, Simon, within that, under training, we've consolidated the partner training and the sales training under just partner training. So everything else is under the end user training. And within the partner training, there are multiple items under that. First of which, and I'll show you in just a moment, is our course catalog and information about our courses, and that you can download that. And then each of the tracks that Simon went through, there is a page about it and a link to go to a landing page about just that training. And so I'm going to demonstrate that, but each course that's listed in the top, there's that kind of roadmap of, okay, what all do I need to complete in order to gain the certification here? And with underneath that, those that are required are under the bottom area of it, of which there is a link to each course, and then a exam at the bottom of that. And you have, in order to complete the course, you do have to go through the exam and make at least a 70% or higher on that. At the bottom of that exam, it does have you input your information so that we know it's you, and we'll give you credit for that. So we are in the process of selecting a learning management platform that will give us and you more information and visibility into your progress in the stages, and we'll be implementing that over the next quarter. So I'm going to take over control here and go in and let's see which screen. Let's see. All right, I'm going to drag this over and show you what I'm talking about. Can you see my screen okay, Simon?
We can, yep.
Okay, great. So on the Kandy website, that's kandy.io, under the ecosystem Kandy Partner Portal, This is where you go in and tells you information about the partner portal. And this is where not only you are partners, but your downstream resellers can become indirect partners or silver partners. And within that, even your customers, if you like, enterprise customers, if you want to give them access to our partner portal, just the end user training pieces of it, that's fine as well. Don't forget, we do have training we've added on our website that is generic in your onboarding your customers or sending out information. You can leverage any of these. You can right click and copy the link address, that kind of stuff. These are all PDFs or videos of each of them. So it goes on quite a bit, console, call center, live support, and different types of phones as well. But on the ecosystem Kandy Partner Portal, there are instructions here, so do download those if you've not already done this. So you can download it and it tells you, okay, you're going to get an email from this email address with this subject, so that if you're searching and can't find the email, you can at least go into your folders and find it. It may appear in your junk folder even. And of course, if you need help, then you will click this button. It will take you to the Kandy Partner Portal. Additionally, this login button will take you there. So I'm going to show you what it looks like when you log in to begin with. This is a knowledge base. So as you're looking for something in particular, let's say I'm looking for sales training. All right, then it will pop up all of the sales training information here for you. And so there's several things that we have put in there that are tags, so that will help you find it. But again, going back to the partner portal piece of this, if you click on training, then what we've done is we have, over on the left-hand side, we've consolidated what used to be partner and sales training into partner training. And there is a partner training course catalog. If you click on this link, then you'll see, and I'll actually put this, yeah, it is at 100, information about that, where you can go register for our leader-led courses that are already scheduled, and that was what Simon went through before. If you do have questions regarding any of this, you can reach out to email kandytraining@kandy.io. And here is a link to the course catalog, and we'll keep this up to date. But it's basically the same presentation that we just went through, okay? And it will go through the courses and all of that, as well as each of these tracks. And at the end of this, it does also go through a syllabus of each course and what tracks they are, as well as what the course code is. So that's very handy for you. Going back to partner training, I'm going to look at, you can see more here, and you can see all the different ones. We have a page for track 1, track 2, track 3, and track 4. And again, sales, sales engineering, admin, and support. And then at the end, we do have a continuing education page that is also a great resource for ongoing training. So let me take you through each one of these. For the sales certification, track 1, it tells you a bit about what this is for. And once you complete all of the required courses for this certification track, then you will be considered Kandy Sales Certified, or Kandy Sales Engineering Certified, or Kandy Admin Certified, or Kandy Support Certified. Easy for me to say. We will email you, and we will be asking for your shipping address, because we have an incentive gift for you and your certificate, so that you can post that proudly, and you can call yourself and there'll be badges as well, as a Kandy certified person. And so each one of these has a link, and that link opens up a page specifically for that certification track. And it does give you, I'm going to make this a little bit smaller so you can see this. It does give you the same, okay, a little roadmap of what you're going to have to to do in order to become certified. And then there are some optional courses or add-on courses, and of course, ongoing training there too. So you can see that. And then below that, it has for each individual course, there's a section. Again, you do have to complete the step and the exam. So for the sales certification training, there's step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and step 5. Okay. And for each one of the steps, tells you a bit about the course. There's a link to the course, so you would click the pink link. It tells you a bit about what to expect, its key objectives. If there are any courses that you need to take before taking this course, then it would be listed as a prerequisite. And then the exam itself is also important. So let me take you to this first one. It will open it up in a separate window and take you through that course. And then at the end of that course, there is an exam. We use SurveyMonkey for that. And so you'll have to answer some questions specific to attending that course or watching that self-paced course. And at the end of it, you will need to give us your first and last name, the company that you're with, the country that you're in, email address, and phone number in case we need to reach you to talk about this, as well as where to send your information and all of that. Okay, so you'll do that for all of the required courses, and then you'll come down and there are sales training add-ons. And for this particular one, there is the Kandy Live Support Introduction. And again, it also has an exam for it. Okay, so that is the sales certification training. If I go through the sales engineering, I can click on it. And again, tells you a bit about this, as well as making sure you understand once you complete these, we keep a track of them by your completing the exam. Then we'll consider you Kandy Sales Engineering certified. And again, these do expire every 3 years. You click on this link, and much like the other, you have some of the same courses at the beginning, but you will create, you'll go through the self-paced administration course. And this can be a leader-led course as well. If you feel like you have a group of people that you want to do as a leader-led admin course, we can hold it as leader-led. But we found that the self-paced is very beneficial for people. It does have exams. It is interactive in that. And then Simon and our training team are able to help you as you have questions during that course. There's also, let me just go through these. The first couple are the same as before. So the introduction to unified communications, the intro to cloud-based UC, and then getting into specifically the step 3 is the UCAS solution overview, and then the customer value proposition. That is the same. And then getting into the selling cloud-based contact center. But you'll notice that the UCAS for administrators, this is a self-paced course, but it does have a student guide. You will need to use your own lab system. And then going through each of the lesson plans has you go through in your own lab to create these items. Okay, and of course there, if you have any issues, and of course the exam is here as well. It's also listed here either way. All right, and then there are some different add-ons with the sales. You had the live support add-on, but we also have the live support admin and implementation. So this is a training course itself. This can also be, it's a self-paced, but it could also be a leader-led by requesting it in that form. And there are prereqs and an exam. And then the deep dive into Kandy Call Center is the same way. So this is an administrative course, and it does require an overview and an exam here. For the, going back to the admin certification, okay, similar, you click on the link, And going into it in track 3 here, you'll see that you don't have to go through all of the courses that the sales and sales engineer is doing. And so that gives you a little break there. But you do have the solution overview. That is important for people to understand that, and the exam for it, the admin course itself, and then live support overview and live support administration is in here, as well as the Kandy call center administration. So we don't currently have any add-ons for this particular course certification, but maybe adding them in the future. And then finally, on the, you have to see more here, track 4, you'll notice that there are, it's very similar, but it's for the support certification. And as we go through this, there's still the UCAS overview. You do have to go through administration because that's the basis for everything else. And you will have to go into the administration of Kandy Call Center, as well as the implementation and support course. There is a course that we're developing that hasn't been posted yet, and that is best practices for deploying hosted IP telephony. And then you can optionally go through some custom training there, and of course ongoing training. So very similar, you see the course links, the objectives, the prereqs, and the exams. And we have the course that's coming soon in the next couple of weeks. And at the bottom of each of these, if you do have problems, you can email us at Kandy Training. Then finally, talking about the last area here is the continuing education. And this is very similar to the others. There's a link. And on this page, these are not anything particular to one of the certification tracks, but there are some additional tutorials and resources here. So there are tutorials. There's one on the automated attendant. So if you have questions and want to understand a little bit more about this particular feature or functionality, this tutorial will step you through that. But there are also some additional items like the quick reference guide and the user guide that can be helpful to you, as well as you maybe answer questions about a particular opportunity and how they may want to route calls. There are also some tutorials on the Kandy call center. Many of you have asked about, well, how would I connect and integrate a customer relationship management software application? It will do screen pops for that. And so the tutorial link is here, and the materials are, there is on provisioning agents and supervisors. Then underneath here, we also have a live support solution architect training for you and a quick reference on provisioning the live support. There's a course link for Smart Office, and which is basically a webinar that we gave on the new functionality and both Smart Office for desktop and mobile clients. And the material here is, what's different in 4.1. There's also some additional training on bulk provisioning within the Kandy administration, as well as our PSTN bulk provisioning. And there is a tutorial link for that that goes through all of it, but also a tutorial for just a very high-level overview of the admin portal. And that's also here, and a portal guide for basically the user guide for it. We also have a link for the remote contact center, the live support in that, and an admin guide. Many of you have asked about features like hot desking, also known as hoteling, and that is something that is a great feature to do. We did have a fireside chat on that, and I have a video clip also on using that with the Polycom phones. So we'll be adding additional content in here, and so again, it's a great resource ongoing for you. Additionally, we have end user training in this for various phones and functionality, and you can go and access any of this as well. But for partner training, the changes that we've implemented, hopefully you'll find that this is easy to consume and easy to point your staff to so that they can become certified and are better at selling, better at solution engineering, better at administering and supporting the Kandy portfolio in your networks and to your customers. So I'm going to hand it back to you, Simon. So let me change it back.
Sure. And while we're transitioning, we did have a good question in the chat. So the question was around the number of courses and things that are in each of these certification tracks and whether or not there's a timeline to complete the coursework. Sarah, did you want to speak to that, or?
Yes, absolutely. That's a great question. So we realize that there's quite a bit of content on this. And so we're giving everyone, at least 6 months to begin to at least start getting your teams trained. As long as they're registered, the requirements are about, can you go back to the slide that shows the requirements, Simon? I
This
think it's
one,
that
or you?
first slide. Yeah. Yeah. So the administration training, as long as we've seen that within 6 months you begin to have people go through and start completing that the courses for the administration certification track and the support certification track as well. Those are, there's several courses to that, but as long as we see that you're making progress on that, that's totally fine. We definitely want to see people going through and getting that certification. Again, for the silver partners, that means you're an indirect partner, meaning you don't have a direct contract with us, but you're selling our products. Then that is you'd be considered a silver partner. The gold partners, we're working through, going through each one of them, but you'll be required to have 2 people admin certified and 2 people support certified. If you're a platinum level partner, then you're required to have 4 people admin certified and 4 people support certified. And so as long as you are working through that transition to at least started the certification programs, then that's totally fine. Okay.
Awesome, great question. All right, so I'm not going to go through the detailed outline for each of these courses, but I did kind of want to share with you. So as a part of this deck that Sarah shared with you on the website, um, you do have access to see kind of the full course description, as well as the objectives for the training course, whether or not there's any prerequisites. We're trying to tell you which tracks are associated with this course, as well as the course code. So it's just giving you a bit more information about what's included in each of these sessions. And you'll see it kind of goes through step by step each of the courses, giving you more specific information about what's included in all of those things. The other section of this presentation that I wanted to kind of cover with you is some of the more custom courses towards the end of the presentation here. So each of these are going to be courses that may already exist from a generic perspective. So like as an example, this introduction to your UCAS solution. So this is very similar to one of the generic courses that is a part of the certification program. But the difference here is that this would be a custom course specific to how you're going through and implementing the solution. If we look at some of the others, so when we get into our features and capabilities, this is not generic, what Kandy offers from a features and capabilities perspective, but specifically what it is that you're implementing to your customer base. So we would customize the session. We'd include the features that you're selling, the ones that, and eliminate the ones that you're not. And it would be a more targeted approach to the conversation. In addition, so the selling skills course, so this would be going into your specific elevator pitches and how you're going to go through and sell the products and services that you as a partner offer to your customers. So it's again getting more specific. CPE, so we would talk about the specific phones that you're deploying, how you're going about, implementing the equipment, any specific policies, procedures that you guys have. So it would just, again, be customized to how you're implementing the solution. Phone and device configuration. So this is going into the zero touch provisioning and generic device provisioning. We would cover, any specific configuration files, all of those kinds of things. But again, it's more specific to to what you're doing as a partner. This is also a course that we're considering bringing out into a generic form. So that may be coming soon. Understanding and configuring UCaaS networks. So this is going into a lot of the network elements and typical UCaaS deployment, but also going into the specific information around requirements for firewalls, routers, Ethernet switches, all of those kinds of things. So this is, again, more of a custom course. The common support issues. So again, this is custom to what you guys are implementing. So we would take a look at specific issues that you guys have seen out in the field, resolution on SIP phones, desktop mobile clients, support issues around features or provisioning. All of those kinds of things is what we would include in these courses. So what questions can we answer for you? Sarah and I have been kind of trying to moderate the chat as we've been going through this, but we would definitely love to hear any feedback or if you have any questions.
So just input your questions within the chat window and we'll be happy to respond to them. And of course, if you have any questions that you think of after the fact, then we're happy to answer those too. I'm going to put them in the chat here for you, but again, kandy@kandy.io is how you can reach us. Okay, we'll wait a few minutes. I'm hoping that you'll find that we listened to the survey and the feedback from you, our partners. We want to make this easy for you to consume, easy for you to tell where you're at in the program, and an easy way for you to test your knowledge and to stay up to date as well on things as they change, as we add new product and features and enhancements as well. And don't forget, you can register on kandy.io/events. You can register for upcoming webinars. In fact, we do have on that, if I go there, just thinking about it, under kandy.io/events, our next webinar is going to be on billing and reporting as part of the platform. So that's on March the 10th. So do take a look at that and register. Even if you can't attend, go ahead and register, and we'll make sure that you get emailed the replay, which has the link to everything to make it a little bit easier for you. So were there any other questions that came in, Simon?
No, none so far.
Great. Hopefully this has been easy to understand, and please share this with any of your staff and coworkers who need this level of education on the Kandy portfolio. And we appreciate your business and look forward to working with you more closely in the future. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thank you.